I know you guys are based in the Midwest in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, and we led this with the beginning slide, that there's such an appetite and a growing appetite from the alternative and impact investor community to find impactful organization business ventures that are women-found, women-led, and the fact that it's for women's health is just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Being able to put all of these things. Alex, talk about points 3 through 5 here.
Yeah, so the holistic telemedicine plus wraparound services and products. So what that really means is we have a few core beliefs that are really near and dear to our heart. One is relationship. We believe that there should be a relationship in healthcare between your doctor, your team that's taking care of you, and you. You should never feel alone. You should never feel what we call a medical black hole. It's when you leave the doctor's office and you disappear. You disappear into your own little universe. You feel completely unsupported, and the doctor has no idea what's happening with you. So relationships are extremely important to us. The other thing that's extremely core to what we do is empathy. We've been patients. Our doctors have been patients. There's a reason why people decide to go this route with their medical practice, and we really feel strongly about that being one of the core drivers to what we deliver to patients. So that we designed our system and our services to support all of that. So patients never feel alone. Doctors always feel supported and have access to the latest information on their patients. We have a team surrounding a patient and the doctor with a care concierge, with a pharmacist who keep in touch and keep the patient supported and engaged throughout their process. We have a dietitian, a health coach, all designed so that the patient feels empowered and supported, and then they can continue their care.
Yeah, and I also know that it's nice. You talked about dialing in, dialing up. There's a membership model that's basically how you want to consume it. So if there's a periodic period that you want to do, if it's longer term, continuous, there are different models that are available.
Yeah,
I think that's really smart. Because we've got 10 minutes, I think we ought to jump right into Q&A real quick, if that's all right.
You bet.
I'm looking at the questions here. Both of them, it's a consensus that people are impressed with with the content you share and want to know a little bit high level. What is some of your business and background? So, Tiffany, why don't you just weigh in on some of your experience about your insights that you've gathered in your career that help you arrive at this is sort of the solution. Share with the audience that. I'll have Alex do the same.
Well, I mean, just I think going back in time for a few decades ago, I started life very early as a patient. I was diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune condition when I was 1.5 years old called juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and really shaped me as a patient, and ultimately was the impetus behind deciding to go to medical school and wanting to do a whole person holistic practice, because it's helped me so much as a patient in my outcomes, and I've done thankfully very well. I've been practicing for 20 years. I ran, when I was with the health system I was with just prior to launching Vytal Health, I ran the largest integrative, ran the largest integrative medicine department in the United States, integrative medicine, again, being one of the holistic or whole person practices. And I grew that from me as the only fellowship trained integrative medicine physician to 22 physicians. And so I got very familiar with the community across the country during my training process and recruiting physicians, and thankfully I have a huge network of people from across the country who practice this way, and I've just seen it grow tremendously over the last couple of decades, which is very heartening. 30,000 practitioners, by the way, per year being trained in integrative and functional medicine, 30% year-over-year growth, which is amazing. And then I got involved in innovation towards the end of my career in the healthcare system, launched a couple of sort of startup companies within the healthcare system, and ultimately decided that I would have a better impact if I could leave and do it in a much more heart-focused, very specific way that meant a lot to Alex and I. And so Alex and I have known each other for a long time.
Way, right?
In a more intimate way. Right, exactly. Right. Yeah.
How about you, Alex? Your turn.
Yes. So my experience is really heavy on the business and technology side of healthcare. I've been doing this for 13 years. My passion lines with experience and relationships. I have many personal stories for how devastating it is when that relationship doesn't exist and the experience is just transactional and crappy. This is my third telehealth endeavor. Prior to this, I've built and operated the largest telepharmacy chain in the country, as well as worked for a leader in telepharmacy software and helped build it up and expand it. And eventually we exited it to Cardinal Health in 2016. Got an MBA education, initially thinking I wanted to focus on healthcare administration, but falling in love with entrepreneurship and the ability, being empowered with the ability to do and change the world and make it a better place.
And he's a pharmacist.
And I'm a pharmacist.
On top of that,
And he's a pharmacist. He's a PharmD. He's a doctorate level pharmacist.
That's awesome.
He's wasting no
yeah.
time.
And on the pharmacy side, I just like to say that just seeing the patients coming through who are just being managed, whose decline is being slowed down, is just very disheartening. Where these things can be solved, they can be prevented, they can be reversed if time went into it. And it's just been very disheartening on the pharmacy side of things.
So another question that's come up is impressive backgrounds, impressive ventures. You guys how long are you into Vytal Health? How many patients are you actively managing today? What is, somebody was asking.
So we're 2 years old.
Okay.
We have nearly 400 patients that we're managing now who are active with us.
Wow.
And we have 5 clinicians and growing.
Five clinicians and 400 patients. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with your current clinicians, what's the capacity of the 400 patients? With that group, you could grow to how many? And then the next question follows on is, so how do you best scale to support the demand? Because there's multiple people say, I can see where this is so needed. I need it, as somebody said. How do you best scale to support the demand? So answer the first part. How many can you scale to help support now? And then how can you scale?
Sure. So each physician can handle about 300 to 450 patients, depending on which membership plan they go into and how much attention they're requiring.
Got it.
So there's definitely room for additional patients. And scaling this, the first 2 years really went, a lot of hard work went into building the right infrastructure and foundation for that. Just like we talked about telemedicine, slowly building the foundation for telehealth of the future. We did the very same thing with our own technology. We built our own electronic medical record specifically designed for concierge style whole person health and holistic medicine care. So now we're ready to scale it. And we have about 30 physicians who are just waiting to get onto the platform and work with us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's in demand on both sides.